Hello and welcome to Physics 1. This is going to be an interesting class. Most of you are probably terrified of physics, but physics really is things you'll be, hopefully by the end of this class, you'll see physics a little differently. It's a different language. All that math you've been learning, all that math that you've worked with, a lot of that is the language of physics. And so it's a language aspect. It's also a different way of looking at the world. We're going to have different definitions. We're going to look at motion. We're going to look at conservation of energy. And we're going to look at how those things affect us. Physics really is the rules. Those are the rules that we work with. That's the rules that govern chemistry. It's the rules that we have to play with in terms of our everyday life. We've been playing with physics since we were born. We played the dropsies game where you dropped something and it fell down. So you've played with gravity. You've played with motion. You do more physics in your head than we'll ever be able to write down on a piece of paper. So don't be scared of it. It is a little bit different, a little bit of different language. So getting ready to get started, we've got a couple of things that we got to cover, those normal kind of housekeeping rules. The syllabus is posted on Blackboard, and I thank our facilitators that are going to help us out because we are going to do this via ITV. Teaching physics via ITV is a little challenging, but on the positive side, that means we keep all kinds of recordings and videos, and so you can go back and see those demonstrations over and over again. You can see the worked problems over and over again. I've done ITV physics for a while now, and it is still an experiment. I'm a very get out, get moving. If I'm in my physics lab, I'll actually go back and somebody asks a question and I can come up with a really quick demonstration for that. Unfortunately, doing it ITV is a little more difficult. However, because of how we structured the class, we're doing a Wednesday, Friday class, which means I will be in Tonkawa on Wednesdays. I'll be in Enid on Fridays. So everybody will get to see me at least 50% of the time, which is really great. And that has been very, very helpful. I do respond to email. However, I do not respond to the Ask Your Instructor in WebAssign. WebAssign has that feature, and it's really nice, but that's just one more place for me to have to check. So I'm asking you to email me through my NOC email, which is also in the instructor information on Blackboard, if you have a question. We will be using WebAssign. WebAssign is our online homework. Online homework has some really nice features. It gives you instant feedback, which is very, very helpful. However, WebAssign can be very frustrating. Please take a little bit of time to learn how the number palette goes into WebAssign. Learn your tools associated with WebAssign. If you ever run into a situation where you think you've got the right answer and you think it's a formatting error, like with scientific notation or with particularly when we do problems that you're not necessarily using numbers in, you're actually using variables for the answer, and it's still not taking your answer, please feel free to take a picture of your WebAssign screen and email me to ask me, is it a formatting problem? Don't fight it so much. Also recommend that you print your homework ahead of time. Your numbers don't change in WebAssign. Each person gets different numbers, but you have that paper copy. In case there's an issue associated with the WebAssign where you've got that, where the computer's down, it also gives you a backup for working on the problem. So I do encourage you to print them out. Another feature that we have, and I've put it in the syllabus and I will give you a link, is an OpenStax textbook. This is an open source textbook in addition to the textbook that you have. Excuse me. And that really is helpful in that each textbook, each physics book explains a concept a little differently. And because of how each of us learns, sometimes that explanation just clicks with you. And that really does help. So I've at least provided you a link to the OpenStax text because there are certain things that it does cover a little bit better than our text. Also, again, I do respond to email. I will give you different explanations, different lectures. I have a lot of my lectures on YouTube that are closed captioned. So hopefully that might help you as well. I do provide you with a lot of resources. So hopefully that will make allowances. There is tutoring available on both campuses. You do have tutor.com. One of the things, though, that is really essential in physics is that you start working on the problems early. How do you learn physics? You work on problems. So homework is a really key component of the class. It's also worth 30% of your grade, and you get extra credit associated with it. I have built in 10% extra bonus points for completing your homework 48 hours in advance of the due date. That's very, very helpful. That's helpful for you, so you don't have to worry about it so much on tests. You don't have to worry so much about it on quizzes, because you have that built-in homework, or that built-in extra credit. It also gets you looking at the problems early. Think of each problem as a puzzle, and that really does help us. Now, most of you are going into the health-related fields or the biological fields or a few of those things. So this is an algebra-based physics course. I will try to bring in some of those health science-related, biosystems-related type physics problems to make it more relevant. But I use an awful lot of sports references. They're great problems to look at, and most of us are very familiar with it. There will be times when you guys get frustrated, and I understand that. Learning is not easy. Learning is difficult, which is another reason why starting your homework really, really helps out early. So before Friday, I want you to get on WebAssign. Make sure you can access WebAssign. I have posted the WebAssign access code in several different places, so you want to get out there and get going on that. You want to also look at a few of the other types of resources that are available. Click on that OpenStax, get it bookmarked on your link on your web page so that you can utilize that. I'll be in Enid on Friday, and again, thanks to the facilitators for today, because I'm attending the American Chemical Society meeting. I've put a whole bunch of contact information, my office hours. Unfortunately for you guys in Enid, I'm not on campus as much as I would like to be. But I am there earlier, try to get there before class on Fridays. And class starts at 8, so I'm trying to get, depending on whether or not the train goes across the tracks and stops traffic, I'm trying to be there a little bit early, so in case you have some questions. Again, feel free to email me. And, one other thing about your book. This is a Cengage text, and your facilitators will be passing out a card. This is the Cengage Unlimited, which means it was good for the entire year. You get access for both your texts in the semester. Any Cengage book is covered. So if you've got a math class that's a Cengage book, you've got some other classes that are Cengage books, that's very, very helpful. It covers your WebAssign. It gives you all of those extra resources as part of it. If you have to opt out, or somebody is direct billing you for your textbook of another Cengage class, please read your unlimited email very carefully to figure out how to best utilize what is for your particular situation. This is a really good deal for all the students. I do want to caution you that the cost on the card is a little different than what you will see on your account through the bookstore, but it's been dealt with so that it's already built into your fees. So utilize it. It goes, and we've tried to make this as cost effective as we possibly can. Again, if you have questions, feel free to email me, and I will see most of you Friday. Talk to you soon. Bye.